Afternoon, everyone. So this afternoon we've got a very special guest appearance on the safari this afternoon, given to us by a very good member of the community here. He's one of our anti-poaching organizers and coordinators, and he came across a puff adder, or one of his friends came across a puff adder and sent it through. And so we are actually just going to relocate it here in the reserve, where it will prosper a little bit better. It was on farmland where they do get attracted to. There was lots of very big rats that get reported in that area, and they do get drawn to human habitation a lot, snakes do, because we have food waste and we have waste products, and rodents get attracted to that, birds even, insects, and that all brings in the snakes. So what we do is we capture the snakes. So for example, if we get a snake in the lodge, to make it safer, sometimes it does happen, it is the bush out here, it's wild, they are everywhere. If that does happen, they call myself or one of the other guides and we come and relocate it. We remove it from the lodge and we bring it out into the bush here. So right now we're actually surrounded by a lot of ground squirrel dens. And an area like this is perfect for especially like a puff adder, big enough to be able to consume them, and they are actually a very good prey item for puff adders. This area in particular is very well known for having a large population of tree squirrels, so we won't be impacting by relocating the snake here. In fact, we'll be doing a little bit better for both species. So what I've got over here, I've got a capture tube. This is to allow you to capture the snake and safely transport it from one place to another. It can't actually bite through the piping over here. It has holes in the top so it can breathe, don't worry. And then I've got a snake hook that I use to safely handle the snake. You'll see I don't actually use my hands at all, or very little in most cases. With puff adders, sometimes you can grab a snake by the head, with the right training obviously. Puff adders, I personally don't think it's a good idea to put your hands near their heads. They have some of the largest fangs that you can find of many snake species. This is a member of the viper family, and also very capable of administering a deadly bite. This is considered our deadliest snake in Africa, just because of the sheer amount of people they kill every year and the amount of bites and envenomations, where they actually inject venom every single year as opposed to our other species. So without any further ado, so first things first, is you'll notice actually is the snake's color. Very beautiful snakes. See, they like little holes and dark cozy spots, so they... Puff adders are heavily ambush predators, so they rely on their cryptic coloration to help blend them into their surroundings and go unnoticed. Beautiful. They get their name from their defense mechanism or one of their defense mechanisms of being able to puff up and basically exhale with a lot of noise. But for some reason the puff adders in this reserve and the surrounds are quite calm and collected. They know what they're doing, and they know that they are in control of the situation. So I don't know what it is, but they don't puff here. Whereas some individuals, they're a little bit different. They're very quick to go into defense strategies. See, whereas now, this individual here, you can see the shape of the coil there, the way that it's almost sort of bunched up like a bungee cord there. Not a bungee cord, sorry, like a spring. What happens there, if you get too close, that spring will lash out. All of that looks like fat, but it is an extremely muscular body. And this is in fact the second fastest striking snake in the world. second to only the death adder, which is found in Australia. But extremely deadly snake, this one. Okay. At any point where my hand or a body part gets too close or drifts too close, it's ready. It knows what it's going to do. And I was just saying how calm and relaxed this one is. This one's actually coming to me. Off at a track. Scales. Incredible camouflage, eh? They don't need that extra space for the heavy. Here we have a lovely herd of zebras, and I find actually a very often asked question on my game drives is, are zebras white with black stripes or black with white stripes? And they have both white and black fur on their bodies, but their skin underneath is actually very dark, and so most authorities will actually tell you that they are black with white stripes, which is phenomenal to think that someone in the name of science has shaved a zebra. We just heard another zebra in the distance contact calling. So let's wait a little bit and see if they call back. We were actually just parking off doing some birding here and just noticed this small water monitor. But this is a little baby one. Adults get much bigger, even over 2 meters. Even this one in this tree over here isn't full grown. And these are springbok, which are quite similar to impala, but different, with the black stripe and the very, very pearly white bellies. And unlike impalas, both male and female springbok have horns. And also what's very incredible about them is that they actually don't need water. They get most of their water requirements from their food. And inhabiting very dry habitats, it comes in handy because then they feed on a lot of shrubs and succulents. And so most of the water that they get is actually from those shrubs that they feed on and the succulents. What they do share with impala, though, is their breeding structure, which is a harem structure, and so there's a dominant male that will guard over a herd of females. In much earlier days, when the space was actually available to the animals and to us, the springbok are actually known to migrate in quite large numbers around the countryside, and it was actually referred to as trekbokking by the Afrikaans people in this country. Here we have one of the members of our big five, the elusive Cape buffalo. These are red hartebeest, of which over 130,000 individuals occur within the wilds of southern Africa. And this is one of 10 subspecies within this family of antelope, which also includes the tsetse and the topi, which you find a little bit further north in Africa. Tsetse we also get around here, but not in greater number. So these antelope are primarily grazers, and we see this in their long snouts. This means that they feed on grass, as opposed to browsers, which feed on shrubs and trees. They're rather successful in eluding predators. They're very fast antelope, reaching up to about 55 kilometers an hour, and also have extremely good hearing and senses of smell, so they can pick up predators from quite far off and are often seen running away in a zigzag type of pattern. That's a baby we can see over here. So the female will give birth to only one calf after about a 8-month gestation period, and will live up to about 19 years of age. Everybody, thank you very much again for joining us and spending some time out in the bush with us again. And hope you all enjoyed, and stay tuned for our next episode. Thank you.